Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode number 122. This one being the 123rd episode, Urashiki returns. Even though his original title was Resurrection, for some strange reason. But simply put, yeah, it's the same title. This episode starts off a little bit just before the end of last week's episode. Partly kind of like a recap in a way of just Boruto and Tamari just basically having a conversation about, well, Shiki, and then they go running after him. Of course, they don't Shota here, and then you have Shiki battling the last of the puppets, and he has a tough time battling him, and then he gets like stung with a dart, basically paralyzing one, and then Boruto shows up, and then they have the opening credits, and then right after that, they have Tamari and Shikadai show up. Of course, Boruto gets Shiki away to a safe distance while they take care of the puppet. And this fight lasts for a good chunk of the episode. Yep, everybody's basically doing their best to try to take it out. At one point, Tamari gets actually wounded by the claws. Yes, she gets wounded in her side. Thank gosh. I mean, at one point, I thought he sliced out the front of her top of her outfit she was wearing, but no, just basically her side. Yep, and she's got paralyzed, but she's basically wounded. Eventually, the puppet is completely destroyed by the combined efforts of Shikadai and Boruto. Yep, and of course, Shikadai had to use his mom's fan. You see, he's not an expert in he's not all that good. He's not all that well. He's not well trained in Winjutsu, but his mom is actually quite surprised. He says, "When we get back to Hidden Leaf, I'm training you in the Winjutsu." Like, okay, yep, and of course, Boruto has to go off and see what to catch up with Shiki. And of course, I love the little moment. I love the little scene first of Shiki basically interacting with Shikamaru. It's probably one of the best things about this episode. And they talk about how he's just like Naruto, except he's not as reckless as he was, which that is indeed true. Naruto was known to be very reckless. Yep. And of course, also they have this thing where during the fight, Boruto refers to Shikadai as Mr. Strategist, which I'm sure that probably they didn't show it, but I'm sure Tamari is probably smiling at that because just like her husband, her son is a genius as well, just like her husband. Which is like, okay, that's actually pretty cool. And then, of course, after the fight, Boruto goes off. Well, they say they're going to catch their breath and continue searching for Kankuro, and then they're going to catch up. And then, no less than about a minute after Boruto leaves, Urashiki shows up, takes his fishing pole, takes Tamari's chakra, and she gets knocked out. Then he takes Shikadai's chakra, instead of eating it like his people are known for doing, he puts it in a gourd for some reason. I have no idea why he does this for, why he's doing this. And they're both unconscious. Yeah, they're not dead per se. Like, Shikadai mentioned he was out of chakra, then what was that? I mean, I would think that it's probably like very little chakra for him to have. I mean, yeah, and then of course, Shikadai, Boruto catches up with Shiki finally, and yeah, of course Boruto points out in the episode that he would not abandon his friends, which that's basically what he is. Basically, he does not want to sacrifice his friends, and then of course, they go run off and they're being chased by Urusaki. Yeah, it it's a really good episode, and I'm definitely looking forward to next week, which we're gonna go back to the father and daughter from the start of this arc. Yes, which, yeah, I mean, by next week's episode, it's only been just a few episodes since his family was last seen, and apparently that he's been wounded. Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's wounded, and I'm not surprised Boruto went that particular direction because after all, he probably came from the direction anyways. I mean, I'm sure they probably soon have to get out the land to win, so they can get some reinforcements. But and of course, also looks like that Sasuke's gonna return next week. We finally gonna reveal. I saw him on a teaser. It looks like we're gonna find out where he basically went to. We thought it was some other dimension. Looks like he went some frozen wasteland. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, not much else to say about this episode. Really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Boruto's getting a heck of a lot better with this particular arc. I mean, there's been some good stuff. I mean, ever since this arc, there's been good stuff, like the adaptation of the Parent-Child Day book. That was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I would say the only arc recently, the recent episodes, I wasn't really a big fan of, is probably the arc where it's Konohamaru's romance. I wasn't necessarily a big fan of it because it felt as though that this arc was basically put together on the fly, and this was the arc that I think, as far as I can tell, yeah, this is the arc that preceded the current arc. Yeah, this arc felt as though it was put together on the fly. This one does not. This one feels well paced, but I don't think it's going to take 20 episodes in order to tell this story. I don't think so. Like, this arc is only going on for officially for 4 episodes. I can see this lasting for probably about a couple more months. I'd say this probably can wrap up by November. I don't think we'll stretch out next year. I hope not. I really hope not. So yeah, that's it for this review. My next review is going to be a review of the 2 most recent chapters released for Fire Force. Yep, but see you next review. Bye.